Ah, there you are. I'm binging my favorite show, Stand Against Evil. Yeah, guess who I identify with? So, talking to Mrs. Chef, she told me I get more subscribers if I went topless on these videos. So, boom, I'm topless. There you go. Let me show some booby. Well, that's another show. I'm still here, just getting rid of my hat. Yeah, I was joking about doing a bikini try-on haul for you guys, but I thought that might not go over so well. All right. So, cooking for one. What do we got? Ugh. Well, those of you who watch the channel know, yes, I do occasionally wash my hands, that I keep some pork chops in the freezer. Thawed some out the other day, made a nice, really good Greek style ouzo glazed pork with onions and bell peppers, and put that on some flatbread with some raita. Ooh, that's a later show. But I had one left over. So what do? We salt it, we pepper it, we leave it for 24 hours, grill it up on the griddle pan. Yep, dead meat. How exciting. What do you have with that? Well, I got some onions frying up in a pan over here. Yeah, I know. We never do that on this channel. What we aren't doing, that's usual, I should say, is frying the onions. That's right, you see the steam. These onions were not diced, they were sliced. And they're cooking up. This is not a French style recipe. And it's actually part of the best plate of food I've ever had. Of course, it had to be accidental. But the other day I was cooking for Mrs. Chef before she ran off to the hospital. And made up some pork chops. Made up these beans. And combined them with an arugula salad on the same plate. And it was literally the best plate of food I've had in a long time. The salt and pepper pork chops, the beans I'm making up tonight, and a simple arugula salad. Put down a layer of arugula, a little bit of salt, a little bit of olive oil, put on some sliced tomatoes, a little bit of salt for the tomatoes, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of vinegar. Makes a very nice salad. Adjust everything to your taste, by the way, please. If you want it creamy, don't tell anybody, but you can sneak a little mayonnaise in there. Or you can just make your own if you have an immersion blender in a small bowl. That's another show. So, what do we got? Well, I'm frying up those onions. We are actually putting a brown on some onions deliberately. Which means there's too much oil in this pan, deliberately. You know, usually you see me do a splash or two from the little dispenser. This time I did a splash from the big jug. Because the sauce for these beans is actually almost oil-based. And as I've said 1,000 times, technique creates flavor. Especially, oh my heavens, when you're cooking onions. These are what you might consider hamburger onions. You know when you get hamburger with grilled onions, and you look at them and they're all nicely brown and caramel? That's it. These are not the French soup onions. These are the quick cooked, caramelized, almost sort of brown, well, almost sort of burned by some standards, onions. Okay, we are getting a nice brown on those onions. I can smell the sweetness. And true to form, it's just oil and onions. I guess I'd better add a little bit of salt to that. Now here's a magic ingredient. Red pepper flakes. Yeah, I do too many of those. So do the amount you like, not the amount I do. Cooking is personal. If you don't make it the way you like it, you're going to be making it the way you don't like it, and that's not good food for you. Okay, the salt is definitely accelerating the caramelization, well, the browning. I shouldn't actually call it caramelization. But our goal here is a flavorful oil in the pan. And we're getting some nicely browned onions to go with that. You see the steam rising? Yeah, we're doing some pretty high heat for this channel today. Let me show you what we got here. Ooh, that's burning my hand. Yeah, that'll never happen in your kitchen, trust me. Here we go. You can see, well, maybe not so much, but I'm about to pour oil all over my kitchen floor, so you're not really going to see it clearly. Sorry about that. But we have some browning on those onions. Now I've tried to make this recipe and tried to get the same results, and it didn't work. And the reason it didn't work is because it only worked in the complete plate of food with the vinegar from the salad. All right. So I got a can of drained but not rinsed garbanzos and a pan full of oil, onions, salt, and red pepper flakes. We want to brown the garbanzo beans. Yeah, you hear that. We are doing high heat. Down, down, down into the oil you go. I read a comment about me using a wok. That's actually a sore point for me because I want to, but the electric stove makes it kind of awkward. I bought a Wolfgang Puck wok that works on an electric stove and an inductive stove as well, which is kind of cool. But when you look it up, it says, do not use high heat. Ooh, how am I doing on time? 8 minutes. So, I want to use a wok. I want to play with a wok. I want to have fun with a wok. I love Chinese food. But this is just a cheapo pan I bought at a discount store. Stainless steel, thick bottom, glass lid. Yeah, I don't even remember how cheap it was. I think they call them everyday pans at some places where they cost too much. This was a house pan or a Mikasa pan. Okay, so that's cooking. Let's throw in some oregano. Oh yeah. I'm kind of fond of the Mexican oregano because it has more of an oregano flavor. Yeah, I know, it's kind of dumb sounding. Oh, you should have Italian oregano and Thai basil, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's only so much we can get up here in the mountains. I don't know where you are, but if you go to the grocery store, there's going to be well, in a lot of places, there's going to be a little jar called oregano. And that's going to be it. And it's going to cost too much, and that's just life. So, yeah. I do cooking for all of us. I was watching a show about this woman who went to the grocery store and found 25 different types of salt. And she was trying to figure out which one to buy. It's like, lady, if you got 25 types of salt, you got other issues. If you can find sea salt, try that. Kosher salt, that's kind of nice. Okay, so what do I got? Well, I got a pot of beans. Well, a pan of beans. The handles are cool again. Please, please let me be able to show you this. Okay, you get an idea. We got some brown side to those beans. Yeah, this is a lot of heat for this kitchen. There's a lot of oil in here too, so I'm frying the beans, frying the onion, frying the oregano. Surprise! It's that easy. Yeah, you didn't exactly watch me go from a cold pan and a a completely raw onion to this, but you get the basic idea. Technique creates flavor. Browning is flavor. Use the right technique to put browning on your onions and your beans, and you'll get more flavor. The one thing I gotta say is that some brands of canned beans can be a little funky. Kind of tuna, kind of canny flavored. And that's one of the things that ruined this last time, is that I didn't take that into account. So heat's off. Pan of beans is off the stove, well, the burner. And a little bit of red wine vinegar. Yeah. So, dinner for 1.5 actually with this. Yeah, pretty much all of these garbanzo beans have browning on one side. If you've ever eaten crispy garbanzos, you know that that's quite a thing. So I'm having that, leftover pork chop. You have that with an arugula salad. Again, arugula, salt, oil, tomatoes, vinegar, pepper. Makes the world's greatest plate of food. It's a little salty, so mind your sodium intake. But yeah, that's it. Cooking's easy. Cooking, for one, it's kind of hard to stay motivated. But if you get really desperate, you can always try cooking topless. So this is social media. Please be good social citizens and subscribe. Thank you very much.